This class is going to be taught both by myself and my British colleague, David. I will be talking first in Chinese about the relevance of the Great Wall story to our modern world. As I do that, I will be mentioning some key words and phrases in English. After that, David will be discussing the whole content, but completely in English. This is going to be fantastic English listening practice. First, listen carefully for the words and phrases I've mentioned. And remember, if you don't catch everything the first time, you can listen again as many times as you want. 直到现在为止，我们已经 get 到了整篇故事的精髓。一群石匠发挥他们的聪明才智 ，use their intelligence and ingenuity， 克服了一个似乎无法克服的问题 ，seemingly insurmountable problem。在工业并不发达的古代，把那么多的石条完好无损地搬运成功，最终建成了嘉峪关，这样的精神可以说贯穿了时代。即使是放到现在，也有着重要的价值。中国发展之迅猛，如今的中国也正在经历着另外一个时期的基础设施建设 （infrastructure and construction） 的高峰。现代的建筑作品同样会遭遇到很多看上去无法克服的困难。我们也了解到很多类似的现代版的故事，了解到现在的中国建筑师是如何克服新的问题的。三峡大坝 The Three Gorges Dam 的修建就是一个很好的例子。总工程师 The Chief Engineer 郑守仁告诉媒体，在长江上修建大坝 Damming the Yangtze River， 其中一个最大的问题就是长江水非常深，水流湍急到难以想象。The flow of its water was incredibly fast。所以，不论你尝试哪一种建筑设计 （construction design） 或者用哪一种材料，任何大坝都不大可能承受得住 withstand 如此巨大的水量 volume of water 所带来的压力。后来他想出了一个办法，把长江改道，改成很多水渠 channels， 这样的话可以一箭双雕，把两个问题同时解决。At one stroke, be a solution to both problems。水深可以减少，速度也可以减慢。最终，这个点子成为了让这样一个庞大的基建工程 （massive infrastructure project） 能够往前推进的关键方法。现在，三峡大坝已经成为世界上最大的水力发电站 （hydroelectric power station）。长城这篇故事给我们带来的另外一个启发是灵感产生的方式。文章中最关键的一句话是：一个失误给了他一个灵感。This misstep gave him an idea。错误能导致一个重要的发现，这也是我们需要注意的地方。在科学发展的历史过程中，有很多这样的著名案例，近代就有，比如青霉素 （penicillium）， 就是由英国皇家陆军医疗队队长亚历山大·弗莱明 （Alexander Fleming） 在一次偶然的过失中发现的。包括我们自己生活当中就能找到很多例子，犯了一个错误，最后我们有了新的收获和认知。在现代的互联网社会，大家都非常的重视形象和品牌 （image and brand）。有时候今天的一个失误，甚至都很可能就会变成明天的时尚新品 （fashion item）。2014年索契冬奥会 （Sochi Winter Olympics） 开幕式就是一个很好的例子。本来是要打开奥运5环。但是其中的一个环由于技术故障没有打开，这本来是一件非常尴尬的失误 （embarrassing mistake）， 因为全世界都在同步观看呢。但是4环图形居然立马变成了时尚新元素，印在了最新款的 T 恤和各种其他周边产品上，很多人得意地穿着 sporting 新潮的4环衣服，成为了时代的弄潮儿。这些都是一些有意思的例子，把错误变成了价值。在我们自己的生活当中，我们有时也的的确确会突然发现，从自己的错误当中会出现新的机会，失败往往突然就变成了机遇。比如说，青年作家韩寒出生于1982年，他在高中毕业那会儿，差点有机会被位于上海的名校复旦大学录取。 当时复旦有一个专门的招生渠道 ，a particular channel for admitting students， 招录文科特长生 students with particular talents in literature and the humanities。有文科方面的特长的学生，高考不用考得很高就能被录取。高中的时候，韩寒就已经展现出了在写作方面突出的特长，也很自信自己可以去复旦。然而不巧的是 ，unluckily， 韩寒毕业的那一年，复旦突然取消了 abolished 这个特殊的招生方式 method of matriculation。当时对韩寒来说，这是一个很大的打击 ，quite a blow。然后他决定放弃上大学的机会，开始专心写小说。失之东隅，收之桑榆。他开始出版小说 ，publishing novels， 立马就火遍了全国，年轻人无人不知，无人不晓。他的小说逐渐也得到了文学界 the literary world 的认可。现在，韩寒已经成为中国当代文学的重要人物 ，one of the leading lights of modern Chinese literature。当然很难说，如果他当时被复旦录取了，后来会怎么样？或许他也同样能成为一名伟大的作家。然而，我们经常能看到的例子是，人生中巨大的打击有可能成为推动我们前进并不断超越 excel 的动力 impetus。当上帝为韩寒关上一扇门之后，韩寒自己开了一扇窗。所以，如果你发现眼前的机会朝你关闭 ，shut off from you， 其实也就意味着你要开始专注于另外一个可能性。毕竟我们谁也不知道，如果韩寒真的可以被复旦录取，毕业后面对的那些其他的机会，说不定会分散他的精力 ，dissipate his focus and energies， 反过来让他离写作这条路越来越远。
The key message that we get from this story is the way that a group of masons, common workmen, were able to use their intelligence and ingenuity to overcome a seemingly insurmountable problem. This kind of spirit has persisted throughout the ages, and it's one which we can all continue to learn from. China is currently going through another period of great works of infrastructure and construction. These works of construction often face seemingly insurmountable challenges, and we have many stories in our modern age of ingenious methods of overcoming these kinds of challenge. Let's take the example of the Three Gorges Dam. The chief engineer, Zhang Shouren, explained to media that one of the biggest problems with damming the Yangtze River is that the Yangtze River at that point was both incredibly deep and its flow of water was also incredibly fast. No matter what kind of construction design you might try or materials that you might want to use, it was unlikely that any dam could withstand the kind of pressure of that volume of water and that degree of momentum. In the end, the solution that he came to was to divert the river into many different channels. This would, at one stroke, be a solution to both problems. The depth of the water could be reduced, and the speed of the water could also be reduced. In the end, that became the key method by which this massive infrastructure project was able to go ahead. An infrastructure project that has now become the world's biggest hydroelectric power station. Well, another aspect of this story is not just the ingenuity of the workmen on the Great Wall, but also the way in which they came to their discovery. The key sentence here is, this misstep gave him an idea. Misstep, mistake. The idea that a mistake can lead to an important discovery is something that is also worth paying attention to. There are many famous examples of this kind of discovery in the history of science. In the 20th century, perhaps the most famous example is the discovery of penicillin, which Alexander Fleming discovered by observing the effect of a type of fungus on a petri dish of bacteria. He had not been looking for that fungus. In fact, the fungus getting in his petri dish was a mistake. We can probably all think of examples in our own lives where a mistake has led to some new kind of realization or understanding. In our modern internet age of image and brands, sometimes today's mistake can be turned into tomorrow's fashion item. Alan mentioned how in the 2014 Sochi Winter Olympics a mistake was made at the opening ceremony whereby the fifth of the Olympic rings failed to open. This was initially an embarrassing mistake, but then later became iconic. And before long, people were even sporting the new 4-ring Olympic logo on t-shirts and other merchandise. Now, these are fun examples of mistakes being turned into something valuable. However, in our own lives, we can suddenly really find new opportunities arising out of what we thought were mistakes or disasters in our life choices. Failure in particular can sometimes suddenly turn into opportunities. One example is the famous, comparatively young Chinese author Han Han. He was born in 1982. When he was ready to graduate from senior high school, he was almost ready to be admitted to Shanghai's prestigious Fudan University. Now, in those days, Fudan had a particular channel for admitting students with particular talents in literature and the humanities. Students demonstrating that kind of talent could gain admittance without having to get such high marks in the Gaokao. In high school, Han Han had already demonstrated a significant talent at writing. He was confident of getting a place at Fudan. However, unluckily for him, in that year Fudan abolished that method of matriculation. At the time, that would have been quite a blow to his self-esteem. However, he made the decision to abandon university study and devote himself to writing novels. That change in his direction turned out to be a great benefit to him. He started publishing novels, which quickly became incredibly popular among younger generations. Slowly, they became increasingly recognized among the literary world too, so he's now recognized as one of the leading lights of modern Chinese literature. Of course, in these types of cases, it's always incredibly difficult to say what would have happened if he had been admitted to Fudan University. Maybe he would have become a great writer anyway. However, it is often the case that when someone has received a major setback in their life, that can be an impetus to encourage them to excel. With one road in life shut off from him, Han Han was forced to choose another path in life. Having options shut off from you means that you are forced to focus your energies on one particular area. Who knows, maybe getting a degree from Fudan University would have opened up more paths in Han Han's life, which would in turn have dissipated his focus and energies.